So starting off the show, Mike has been on it with his entertainment, and so he wanted to talk a little bit about Snow White and the seven dwarfs, I guess, or the friendly ghosts. How was did you see, do we did any of us see this movie?
I
No.
refused. I refused to see it. There was too much
Yeah,
bad
definitely not.
publicity from it. So realistically, the reason why I bring this topic is last week we talked about the lack of creativity. We were talking about Hollywood and the problem with the remakes, etc. This new Snow White, based on everything that I've seen, all the reports, everything, it's a reimagined Snow White. They take the premise and then they basically change it to, in my opinion, manipulate and brainwash people from the original version. The original version was supposed to be happy, fun. It was a little kids like movie. Now this one, all of a sudden, it is all thrown into your face. There's so many controversies going on with it. But the real reason why I bring this up was because its main actress, Rachel Ziegler, or whatever her name is. She's a 23-year-old actress. She's got an amazing voice. I don't want to take that away from her. But she got so political. And even Disney turned around and asked her to basically stop with her political statements. And this girl just keeps going. It got to a point where this movie right now is on pace to be a huge box office bomb. It did not turn around and perform, but it got so bad. And my issue with this is you're an employee of a company. Like, there were thousands of people that worked on this movie. There's hundreds of millions of dollars thrown into this movie. At a certain point, you have to sit there. I get it. If you're like political and you want to be political, you have to understand there's consequences to the things that you say. And this girl is doubling down and tripling down now. At one point, she made a comment where she said, basically, I hope bad comes on to all Trump supporters. I hope, she talks about the war going on right now. And it's gotten to a point where it's like, you're the star of this movie. Do you not want to see the success of this movie happen? Are
Didn't
you
weren't you
really
saying
trying
that
to alienate?
weren't you saying that Gal Gadot too decided or asked to be removed from like all of the marketing too, just with
So
her
she
or
didn't.
something like that?
I don't know about her being removed, but what happened was Disney decided to stop doing marketing with them together. If you
Oh shit.
realize in the yeah, so at the beginning of the marketing of the movie, they started doing press conference together. All of a sudden, this young female actress just started to turn around and be very outspoken, and both of the major stars, Gal Gadot and this woman Rachel, turned around and they clashed because they were on the opposite ends of the war that's going on. And all of a sudden, there was so much controversy. It was out there. So what ended up happening is they have hundreds of millions of dollars, and they basically didn't do a marketing campaign for the movie. They didn't do promotions.
What
So
about? I mean, what's this is like a trend with all of these sort of remakes. Has there been any of these remakes? Have any of them been a success? This
yeah,
live
there's
action
there's been
remakes.
I thought
yeah
the
there,
Aladdin
there's
one did
been
well, right?
Aladdin did okay, but the one that was
The one with
supposedly
Will
not really
Smith?
good. No, the
No.
one that was really didn't do good at the box office was, I think it was Lion King, the remake. But what happened was Lion King actually became very profitable because over time a lot more people watched it. So it's initial. I think they ended up making like 750 or 800 million dollars. The problem with this movie, though, is the Lion King had controversy, but it wasn't like this. Lion King's controversy was just over the storyline and basically people being tired of the remake.
What
This one
did they
actually
didn't
has,
want the lion to be the king? They want someone else to be the king?
yeah, Mufasa.
Good
But
job.
no,
That's racist.
no, Mufasa is a character in the movie. Get your shit together, bro. Um, but
Chris
anyways,
and I haven't seen the musical yet.
yeah. So, anyways, the problem with this movie is there's too much controversy with the main two actresses. One actress is so defiant in her opinions and what she feels that it's basically torpedoing a movie that a movie studio
So you think the
put
comments that
hundreds of millions of dollars.
this young lady made affected the sales, or you think people are just not
Absolutely.
interested in seeing Snow? I feel like
So I'll give you.
I feel
Let
like
me just
David
say.
Lynch should make like the Snow White movie. It should be like creepy and weird and like who are
So
these seven
I,
dwarves anyways?
I'll explain why I feel so. It's a combination of things. So one, it's
Or like Quentin
the
Tarantino. The seven dwarves just fuck each other up.
well the dwarfs. They didn't use
That'd be
actors
great.
or
They all
they
wear
didn't
little
use
black ties.
actors. They used CGI. So that was the first fault. They used CGI. So they didn't. The second thing is she started commenting about the storyline of Snow White and basically how Snow White was being stalked by a guy in love, and it's not about that anymore. It's about empowering, like Snow White, etc.
Well, yeah,
Empower to
she.
So
do what?
So
What is she
in
empowered
her
for
rant,
to
she
do?
basically slams the whole storyline of like Princess, the Sleeping Beauty sort of thing, where it's like you come find the damsel, and it's like I'm not a damsel, I shouldn't need to be rescued or whatever it is. It's like
yeah,
yeah,
so
she's
but the
hating on the movie that she stars in. It was kind of
yeah, but
stupid.
the
I
whole
feel
thing
like
that
this is the
I
whole like kneeling with the anthem. You know, it's like
Mm.
you're lucky enough to be paid to be a professional athlete in a country, and then you're like, nah, I don't want to do that. It's kind of like, what?
yeah, but
What's wrong with you?
it's so. Let me ask you, Chris. If you go into the office, right, and you're very outspoken about certain beliefs that everybody or and your company tells you to stop doing those things, do you? I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to be even louder now, or do you take it under advisement and be like, okay, maybe I understand. I represent this company. They're investing in me. Okay. Maybe I should be a little bit smarter with the statements I'm saying. Maybe I realize, obviously, the statements you're saying are not defamatory or like, certain things like, you're not running around being racist, etc. But you turn around and you're like, okay, let me reevaluate this. If my company's talking to me about something, okay, maybe the statements I'm making, maybe I tone them down, or maybe I just rethink them. And if they're really that important to me, maybe I just leave.
Well, I feel like I mean the director had to fly out to like ask her to like tone it down. I mean,
Oh,
he wouldn't
really?
have- yeah, the director
How
flew
old
out.
is how old is this young lady?
She's 20.
Yeah, she's 20.
Yeah, the director flew out to London to like try to like, hey, can you tone it down a little bit? And a bunch of people came out and like slammed the director for going down and trying to like curb what she was saying. But she basically came out before the movie came out and just slammed the whole plot line, just slammed the whole storyline, and basically saying that it was like anti-feminist or whatever. And then
I
it's
mean,
like,
like,
well, I mean,
so like
what the fuck are
here's
you
the
doing?
thing is like, right. I mean, like, in this, I totally don't know anything about the movie or her opinion. But like I think that if you're judging these types of things, one thing you have to consider is the integrity of the different types of protests, right? If she has her beliefs and she goes out and like says, "Hey, look, this is how I feel about empowerment or whatever. I don't feel like this kind of imagery or storylines are appropriate." That's my general opinion, right? And that's a way to like mark down some integrity. But when you participate in something and you profit from it like tremendously, and it gives you a platform, and then you use that platform that thing gave you to bitch about how that thing isn't any good or whatever, then the amount of integrity that your message has gone down quite a bit, or it should for educated viewers. So like one thing is like if this young lady was like, hey, I'm the hottest star ever, they've asked me to do a bunch of movies and I turned down Snow White because I don't like the princess role, kudos, girl. You
Yeah,
know, like,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you're like, hey, I got paid millions and I got a platform because nobody knew who the f I was before this, and I'm gonna use that to say that everything that got me where it is sucks, and that's just the integrity of that message kind of goes out the door.
Yeah. A
No,
lot of
I
people were
agree.
just talking like what Mike was
I'm
saying
just
about all the other people that were, participated in making the movie that are, losing out because the movie's not going to make any money. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
like
So you got the directors, you got producers, people that are
editors,
attachers,
There's
editors.
grips,
thousands of people.
the
Yeah.
homeboys
Yeah,
holding the cameras and shit, and like putting up the production designers, production builders.
she made her 3 million. She already got paid. The movie's already made. All these other people's livelihoods are still. There's back end deals on how much money they make, and some people get paid money out on that. There's so many
Hear
moving
me out.
parts.
Hear me out. So when people do this, when celebrities are like overnight celebrities use their platform to get rich and then trash the system, right? I think we should call it the Haktua. Because just like the Haktua girl just like made that Bitcoin and stole $15 million and disappeared. And so like when somebody does that, I feel like it's like the Haktua. You know what I mean? Like she just
Yeah.
Haktua it.
Yeah. And the worst part for me about it is she just keeps doubling down. She just keeps going. Like she's like, okay, no, I'm the star. I'm gonna say what I want. I'm gonna act the way I want. This is what I'm going to do. Gal Gadot is Gadot, however you say her last
Al
name.
Gadot.
Godot, whatever. She's hot. But anyways, the thing that I like about her is she had a great statement. I believe she said it, but she was like, "We're supposed to be promoting this movie. We're supposed to be like,
Yeah,
trying
lifting
to
it
make
up.
the
Yeah.
studio like money. They hired us.
I hope
We
nobody
have
ever hires her again after that.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's put your money where your mouth is, and I think we'll see. What's going to
Yeah,
happen with
you know
her.
my favorite fan theory for Snow White. Lord Farquaad from Shrek.
from Shrek. Yeah.
Yeah, the fan theory was that Lord Farquaad is the sire of Snow White and Grumpy, the Grumpy dwarf.
Oh,
And
that's,
so
that's
that's
what-
how Lord Farquaad got the mirror, mirror on the wall, is because he's Snow White's child of
That's weird.
Snow White and the Grumpy dwarf. I was like, oh my
Hey.
god, it's so perfect.